Let's talk about 7-1. Let's finish it up.
Wires to lose someone on the wall.
What's going on? That or the bulbs dying.
Oh, that too. I think it's
All right. See? All right. So we did 1 and 2, I believe. My turn. Okay. So number 3. How'd you guys feel with number 3?
excellent.
Okay. So number 3, I'll just run through. I'll put the answers up for you. Sorry that the computer's a little jacked right now. So your confidence interval for A, you're going to plug in it. Excuse me. E equals A, Jim. So with that, with your confidence interval, whatever this answer comes to, it'll be the mean 51.16 minus whatever this is, and then 51.16 plus whatever that is. There's your confidence interval there. If you do a 99% confidence interval, you're going to change this value right here to 2.81. And you're going to do the same thing. And if someone told you that the Earth was heating up on average, January temperature was 54 degrees. So, letter C. If they told you that the temperature in Phoenix was now 54 degrees, if you do the 99th percentile, so your E is going to come out to 1.91. That means between 49.25, 53.07. You know, where does the 54 degrees fall in that scenario? So 99% confident it falls out here. If I go to try to figure out how I need to handle this scenario. Should I go with the freshman approach or the senior approach? Freshman approach is calling mom on speakerphone.
Do it.
Yeah. Senior approach is grow up! You're late? Don't stop being rude when you come in late. Jamie, I'm not. No. Every day. I know, but you realize it was quiet back there, and then you come. Because you're late every day.
True statement.
So it's kind of, I mean, we started even an hour late today, and you were still late. She's got to be a Democrat. That or French. Or a French Democrat. All right. So, should we fear this global warming situation as a result of this problem? That 54 degrees falls outside of 99 percentile, or 99. Excuse me. Our 99% confidence interval. What's going to happen if I change this confidence interval, what happens here? I can't go much more than 99. I mean, I can go 99.5, 99.7, whatever. But what happens if I change this? Does it increase the size of the confidence interval, or does it decrease it? So think about what this confidence interval is doing. Let's say this is what it looks like. So we are 99% confident that these results will happen again if everything was kept the same. How we collected our data, where we went to find our data, things like that. Should we worry about just a little bit more than 1 degree falling outside here? What do you think? I give you the Dennis Miller answer. Think you guys can handle it? Past 10,000 years, the average temperature of the planet has increased 0.5 degree. It seems pretty stable. If you want to look it up later. He didn't have all the kind words in there. He used a couple of colorful metaphors, but think about it. But as Al Gore showed us with a crane, that's Al Gore.
Wait, are you saying that climate change isn't real?
Global warming is really happening.
Oh.
Like,
What are you talking about?
Let's go.
Find me your data. Find me your data.
Okay, I will.
Good luck.
I'll bring it to you.
We have AP
You're right.
Environmental
Yeah,
Science
we're
first
AP
period. We
Enviro.
can
Like,
literally
we
bring you
study
stuff.
this.
You have your teacher saying it?
Yes.
Of
Really?
course! It's fucking real!
It's just not.
What a great class to have right now. I had an F-bomb drop.
Class debate right now.
Let me just go grab boys really fast.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll grab my dad.
Don't get
Your dad.
No, I'm just trying to ask. I'm trying to ask.
Boyce will set you up with some
Yeah, you should call Mr. Boyd and he'll show you.
Well, okay. So you have now one person. Where's the more people?
Like,
Every
he has the facts.
article.
He has the data.
Okay.
He has like.
I finally get this class moving on statistics. Finally. Go. Keep going.
Well, I mean, we learn about it in Enviro, so if you like want all of like the data and information that like goes along with it, I mean, I would have to like talk to Boyce a little bit more so I can give you some exact numbers.
I can just give you articles.
But yeah, we've been studying it all year. Like, global warming's definitely happening.
Definitely happening.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Since the end of the ice age.
There's just a global climate change.
Since the end of the ice age.
When did it start? I don't go to that class often, but I do know that it's happening.
Now our source goes from it's definitely happening to not go to that class.
I'll bring you some data.
I got you.
Other than a picture of a person in a box.
That's Al Gore going up on the.
Like, I mean, that's some serious data, but like, what numbers do you have?
No, but that's Al Gore going up saying, look how much more the planet's getting.
Yeah, but that's
No,
not,
but what
that's a
numbers do you
drawing you
have?
made. That's not.
I can pull up a picture of Al Gore. Put it on.
Stick it in a box, like, how helpful that is. Some serious hard facts right there.
No. Did you guys see did you guys have to see the documentary An Inconvenient Truth?
Of course.
Okay.
Super serial, guys.
Huh?
Super serial, guys. Isn't that basically?
As we drive around in a Ford Expedition criticizing us because we are burning way too much fossil fuels.
But we
We're burning a hole in the ozone.
Oh, that was the CFCs. Those are gone.
Those are not gone.
No, the CFCs, they're out of the deodorant now.
They probably have fun up in the
Always get heated.
Oh, finally got you guys feathers ruffled. I finally got you guys to realize what statistics is used for and how it's used to sway.
Blown out of proportion. Like not that.
Guys and girls, I'm telling you, I'm playing devil's advocate with you because it's a wonderful thing to do because you're finally pissed off. And you finally starting to realize that I have this data or that data. Which data are we going to use?
This or that.
Seriously,
It's 50% chance.
I like it. You're even better. Which data do you want to use? Okay, I like it. But why both?
Because like one could be skewed this way, and one could be skewed that way. And like I don't know, I feel like if you had both, it could kind of even it out.
So let me just step a little bit further on devil's advocate. I have that's my that what do I do? Google must be right.
Yeah.
It's like the definition of what's happening.
Okay.
Women could write that.
Having significant and harmful effects on our communities, our health, and our lives. Sea level rise is accelerating. The number of large wildfires is growing. Dangerous heat waves are becoming more common.
Okay. I was in Banff, Canada at the glacier fields this summer. And it was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating being up at Banff, Canada, at the glacier field. So, as we're walking up to the glacier, we had about a 1.5 mile long walk to get there from the parking portion. And it had different, who is that term? It was like a marker, cement marker. And on the marker, you know, as you're walking up, you know, you didn't realize what the marker said until you got up to the glacier. Look, and I forget what this one was. But let's say this one says 1890. Still with me? I'm making this up, but I'm just saying. So then you walk a little while, and then it's 1905. Okay? This is just numbers for right now. It's just numbers. It doesn't mean anything to me right now. Going, what are they measuring? And I get up to about here. 1930. And a long walk. So there's these markers along this trail. And this trail is about 1.5 miles, maybe. And again, I'm just throwing an arbitrary value. And then you get to this big old block of ice, aka glacier, part of the glacier fields. And then here is a sign that says, this is where the glacier is today. As you walk back, take note where the glacier had been. So did global warming make this happen? And the answer is yes. Something changed in the environment. But what made it change? Because some of you are jumping on a political bandwagon, which I love. And I'm trying to keep. And
Science. It isn't even political.
It's just science. It's just science. But you tell me why half the science community says it's happening and the other half says it's not.
That's not happening. That is not a thing.
The people that are saying it's not true are politicians.
They're not
They
scientists.
say, I don't know anything about science, but, and then they say,
Yeah.
Professor Wyatt.
Carbon dioxide is the highest level, has the highest level now since in like the past 65 or 650,000 years. Global temperature, we've had the highest 9 of 10 years recorded since 2000. Arctic ice levels have decreased per decade 13.3%. Land ice, 250 billion metric tons per year down per year. And then the sea level has gone up 3.19 millimeters per year. Forest cover is down 1.5 million square kilometers. So that's all from NASA.
Hogan's got some.
What you got, Hopes?
Did you pull it up on conservatives.com? What the source is. I'm about to run down the hall to get voice. I just want to.
But like, I mean,
Huh?
Mr. Voice.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said Mr. Boyd would probably have like
I disagree. It's
Oh my gosh, it's just natural.
wait, I am with like you people, but like I will say like scientists.
31,000 scientists not convinced.
What'd you say?
Logan, I don't know the whole thing.
So what's your source? Hang on, we got other arguments. Woo!
It's not.
Say it,
but go
say
on.
it.
So from ossfoundation.us.
I don't know
What
what
does
they
OSS
are.
stand for?
We don't know, but good.
It matters.
I know it doesn't say. But
Okay,
31,000 scientists say there's no convincing evidence of global warming.
How many?
31,000?
How many?
I mean, why is a scientist?
Also, what defines a scientist?
How many scientists?
Now we
Huh?
gotta Google how many scientists are.
It's beautiful.
How
I mean,
many
this
scientists?
is just one source. This is just
I can't find you.
Huh?
I can't find you.
12 scientists?
Follow me.
Find me more.
The data is.
There we go.
Where did you find that? I'm sorry.
I just googled how many scientists.
Oh, okay.
it might be real, but it's like not
I'm not getting a lot of number
You
answer.
want to know what the
You're not getting
OSS
what? I'm
is?
sorry.
I'm not getting a lot of number answer.
So you name.
Other functions of the OSS included the use of
Okay.
propaganda,
I
subversion.
like that. I like that approach too.
So propaganda is literally in their
Wait, what?
the
I didn't hear.
OSS. Propaganda is literally in the OSS job description of
Oh, it is?
tactics they used, yes.
Okay.
Source system science. That's pretty
It's the Office of Strategic Services. It was a World War II wartime.
Believe NASA more than OSS? Okay.
Is this
OSS came from $6 Million Man. That was like their science people. I do. I had a great time. Because I finally get a reaction out of the class.
But it's not about math.
You're going to learn.
What my dad would say. Again, I like.
I don't know who your dad is. Who's your dad? I don't know.
Lee Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but like I don't know.
I don't know. He would just like accuse. I'm not saying like this is what I believe, but he would like accuse everyone here of being brainwashed by the media. So,
I like it.
it's a fact.
I like it. Finally. Wait, why does it have to take to chapter 7 for you guys to finally get your feathers ruffled about statistics?
But it's about the environment.
I finally hit the nerve!
Obama caused global warming.
You guys finally hit a nerve!
Yep, you're right, dude. You're
I
totally
finally hit the nerve! I love it! I love it! Uh-oh, John's got something now.
John got some.
I'm ready.
Say it, John. Do it.
This is nice.
Here's another fact.
Oh, Hope's got something else.
It's not that big of a deal.
Wait, global warming is not that big of a deal? Or
No.
it's not happening?
His fact says not that big a deal.
But it's
The-
not.
No, but the fact that he has that.
It's natural. Like,
It's
not just a
happening. That's
mistake.
what we're talking about.
You guys are
Global
saying
warming
that
is happening.
humans are.
You said that humans hate it.
We do. It's
That half of the room was just saying that global warming is not happening, and now the train is
Actually, it's like
happening.
3 units, so
It's it's not happening.
It's not real deal. Okay, I'm curious.
Also, has anyone else noticed that there's only 2 kids that are saying there isn't global
Yeah.
warming, and literally everyone else is saying that there is global warming?
So Wyatt, what'd you get from my thing talking about Canada? Am I saying it's happening or not?
Yeah.
I think you are.
I just walked a mile and a half and I saw the glacier had moved. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like, I don't know, have you all seen a glacier? Like, honestly, you need, like, and I'm gonna get this wrong. I feel like a retard because I was in Banff, Canada. It was awesome, beautiful trip. A glacier is defined by a certain thickness of ice. And I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, I heard it a million times when we were on the trip. It didn't stick with me. So can someone define for me a glacier? I don't know. How thick does it have to be?
All I know is that the ocean is not rising significantly. Polar ice is increasing.
Glacier, a large amount of ice formed over many years that does not melt during the summer.
I already tweeted.
Nothing about. But there had to be some, because you have like.
At least 0.10 or I guess 0.1 kilometers squared says. Any perennial ice in the area is 0.1 kilometers.
0.1 kilometers square. But it doesn't say anything about the thickness. Because when we were up there, they were talking about it has the ice itself had to be a certain thickness. The ice had to be a certain thickness in order for it to be a glacier versus an ice field. An ice field was less. Someone find that one.
Well, like, also, like, there's the St. Mary's Alice, like, in Colorado that, like, went from being a glacier to an Alice.
I understand. Okay. What was the second word you're using? I'm sorry.
Alice?
Alice.
I don't know, that's what it's called. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
If you look up St. Mary's Glacier, and there's no glacier.
Nope. It's an out. Okay. But there was something that, like, the glacier had like a certain thickness. At least that's what the Canadians said. I'm just saying. It's just an area. It's not a thickness.
This is
Yeah, you know, you can put an ice cube out in the shade.
Yeah, but
and
it
won't
would
be a
melt.
glacier.
It would melt. So like
This is almost worse than
Yeah.
summer school.
I can tell you that this glacier that I stood next to, how thick this glacier was, it was amazing. And inside this glacier, and I'm sorry I'm not a good artist, you had these huge streams of water that were flowing out of it like crazy. So, and again, I think it was about 1.5 miles. I'm off a little bit. I'm sorry. But the markers along there told you where it was happening, where that glacier had been. And then you walk the distance and you get up to the glacier. And again, I can't remember, but the glacier, the ice has to be a certain amount thick for it to be considered a glacier. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the terminology to use. I feel like a retard. But finally, you guys, I got you to finally buy into a little bit of data. You finally jump into something saying, no, this is, okay, why? But here's a question. Here's a question. Ready? Is because you have some that are, or many of you that are very adamant about it, and a handful that aren't. Is the argument that for those who aren't, oh, they're just an idiot? Is that the argument? No. At your age, I know you can't. I love it. Huh. He's going Russian. What's stupid about it? No, but seriously, it's. Do you agree that there are those out in society who will say that things are happening, but they have no foundation to say that it's happening.
Yes, but global warming is not one of those things.
No, but do you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that.
But,
Pretty sure he agrees.
I just definitely think.
yeah, but I finally jabbed you guys a little bit.
So,
I
wasn't talking to you, Stuart.
According
I'm
to
not.
the
How am I? I'm just trying.
Talking to you,
I think I'm a genius because I finally get 30 juniors and seniors finally like, no!
So what is your stance on this? You think it's happening?
I walked a mile and a half. I love that. I get a rise out of you guys. Finally.
bro.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So, according to the NIPCC, which is the non-governmental International Panel on Climate Change, they said that the ocean is not rising significantly. Polar ice is increasing, not melting away. Polar bears are increasing in number.
What?
They're actually not increased. There's not an uptick in the number of strength of storms. Like, you guys are just like,
Yep, it's us that are just.
What funds that organization and who are the members? Because I just don't believe that that's true.
yeah. Like, what information you guys are saying?
I have articles and scientific facts in my binder and on the internet and on Voice's blog.
I
On
have
Voice's blog,
I have
you can read a lot of stuff.
They're back at my house. I have a whole report on this. It's at my house.
I love it. I love it.
You wouldn't believe how fired up some people are.
It's awesome, isn't it? I love it.
And if there were any other like environment, they would be seeing where white people
It's a woman raised one.
Yeah. Is that like But who did I say it from? Dennis Miller, a comedian. And he's a very Republican comedian. So, is he the source that people want to use? People will sit there and use that as a source.
But you value that.
No.
We found some more. There are some more.
I love it.
Like, when
Yeah.
was the last time you counted the number of polar bears?
When was the last time you did though, Alex?
I didn't.
I know they got an extra one at the zoo the other day, so.
They're increasing.
Aren't they endangered?
What?
They're an endangered species.
We're endangered as well, right?
No.
Yeah.
We're overtaking the population
That's
actually.
We're pretty endangered by, like Ebola.
Polar bears are an endangered species because their habitat is like lessening.
Alright.
This physically.
Okay, I got one fact.
Uh-oh.
Because of ongoing and potential loss of their sea ice habitat resulting from climate change, polar bears are listed as a threatened species in the U.S. under the Endangered Species Act in May 2008.
So, when
So
that was posted,
I didn't know that. They're not endangered.
No, they're threatened.
Whenever it was, it's
Right.
not close.
So if
not
if
endangered.
global warming,
oh, so you just lied.
no,
They'll
global
be
warming is
endangered.
happening.
You just said their name.
Yeah, she just
Okay,
said they were
they're a
endangered.
threatened species, sorry.
That's different.
That's still worse than what they were before because of climate change.
It's
Because
really
it's
worse.
changing.
Yeah, and climate change is still happening, so they're gonna be endangered.
I've been feeling it lately. It's been so much hotter.
So we say you
Oh, I love it. Alright, let's get into 7.2. Let's see what other dangerous territories we can go for. Alright, population mean. If you have a population average, they're going to use this Greek sign. If you have a sample mean, they're going to go with this. What's the difference between a population and a sample?
Talk about math again?
Yes.
Oh, you know,
This is the first time I'm actually like happy about math right now.
Now I'm talking about it, or?
Yeah, no, now we're moving on to math. Yeah.
Alex, don't worry. Don't worry.
Let's
9:45.
do that right now.
We have wind farms in Kansas, so we're safe. Alright, so, shh. What's the difference between a population average and a sample average?
So there's nothing even to talk about.
Cherry Creek High School. Let's talk about all the students at Cherry Creek High School. Still with me in this situation?
Yep.
That would be our population. Could we find like the average age of the student at Cherry Creek High School? That'd be our population. If I take this class as a sample, can I find the average of this classroom? So this is a sample of our population. So if I were to talk about the average age of students at Cherry Creek High School, because that's our whole population, we're going to use the Greek letter mu. If we're going to talk about this class average age, we're going to use an X bar. Got it? Population standard deviation, obviously you're finding standard deviation of the entire population. Sample standard deviation, we're finding standard deviation of this class. Still with me? I think it's gone quiet.
Bring back up something else.
I'm stupid?
No, we're stupid.
Oh, I thought you said I'm stupid. I'm like, based on what? That I finally get 30 kids to say, yeah and no. No. There's probably more than two. There's just some that got afraid of the angry mob that formed.
Yeah, you best be afraid.
Yeah. I ain't afraid of nothing except the boogeyman, because he's got boogies. All right. So, so as you go through and you start looking at population numbers and stuff, normal curve changing a little bit. So, can you all decipher that there's three different colors up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say the blue represents an entire huge population. The red represents, so let's do this. Soda, or Coca-Cola. We all with me on Coca-Cola? I don't care if you like Pepsi better, I'm choosing Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Or Coca-Cola people, they
Likes
kill.
Pepsi.
No. Pepsi, people who drink Pepsi like they kick puppies and stuff, I heard.
That's true.
No, it's not. Go next door and get me a Coke. Alright, so we are going to sample, we are going to talk about all of the Coca-Cola that was produced this year. And then I'm going to talk about the Coca-Cola that's produced by the Denver plant. And then I'm going to talk about a 6-pack of Coca-Cola cans that's at the Circle K or the 7-Eleven down the road. So which one up there is going to represent all of the Coca-Cola in the world? Blue. Which one represents Denver? And the 6-pack?
Green.
Okay.
That's
So there's going to be some, it's supposed to be green. Use your imagination. We'll get there. It's different than the red and the blue.
Gotcha.
But we have a purple bulb in place. Huh. So you have a standard error, and then you have an n minus 1 for the degrees of freedom. So do you remember? Do you remember on your calculator when you put in a list of data and you do the one variable statistics and it gives you the mean? Remember this? And then it gives you the standard deviation and the sample standard deviation. Remember there's two standard deviations? You're like, why is there two? This is why. Hey, what time we're out of here?
Couple minutes.
Okay. So the degrees of freedom, and I'll pause and we'll work on this tomorrow. The degrees of freedom, if I could find the table. So there's two tables that are in the back. The last two tables in the back talk about degrees of freedom, which go along with this equation. Okay, shh. If you don't have that big, or if you're just looking at some population, we are going to change this right here. So our z-score, we're going to change it to the letter t, and this comes out of the t table in the back of the book, which deals with the degrees of freedom. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.